My name is Mark Cotton. I regularly facilitate 360 feedback sessions for people. Just lately, I've grown increasingly aware of the tensions that exist in such exercises. So, for example, recently I had a conversation with someone who was engaging in a formal 360, which led me to consideration of ways in which reflective work of this sort could be undertaken in a way that foregrounds its shortcomings and at the same time could enrich it as a practice. I lay out some of that in this short presentation, so thank you for joining me. The term 360 suggests a flat circularity from which we can draw a range of neutral observations about our presence, practice, and performance in the workplace. To do so, as the person seeking feedback, we send out invites to a range of people with whom we interact in the organisational context. We then ready ourselves to listen to what they have to say, and that can often be a quite nerve-wracking experience. Crucially, of course, our respondents get to make statements about us at work anonymously. The fact that this is the case strikes me as an indication that many corporate environments are stilted conversationally, and authentic voices very rarely speak up in this context, and when they do, they are often not properly heard. Having 360 at the centre of self-assessment and self-development suggests that the honesty, candour and connectivity in organisations are profoundly limited by structures and by culture. The 360 expects us that we should invite our manager to offer feedback when one might ordinarily expect that just in the course of interaction at work and formal supervision, the manager would feel comfortable to speak openly with us about all that is good and that which might be better. The fact that there are organisational constraints to the development of honest human relationships in a hierarchical setting seems clearly indicated by the sheer number of difficult conversation training courses that exist in the cluttered market for corporate education. The expectation underlying the 360 exercise is that each person approached across the four broad categories cited, encompassing the manager about whom we have already spoken, our organisational peers, those outside the organisations with whom we collaborate and those to whom we provide goods and services, and those who we are expected to manage, will respond honestly and kindly to our request for feedback. We are expected to receive their observations and accept them at face value as accurate reflections of how we turn up at work. In truth, of course, these are not neutral statements of fact. They are instead profoundly subjective assessments. The presumption that we are compelled to accept what we receive back is immediately challenged once we acknowledge this simple fact. In light of this, we need to reconsider that feedback. It is not delivered as a straight line from respondent to recipient. Instead, it is deeply distorted by all manner of personal and contextual issues. In light of this, we need to reflect on what we hear back at two levels. Firstly, what am I hearing, and to what extent does it sound resonant to me? Does it chime with my experiences? Secondly, what am I hearing, and what does that say about both respondent in terms of their worldview and the corporate context in which we are connected to? All of which suggests strongly to me that, alongside any 360 exercise in which we choose to engage, notwithstanding issues around the practice which I have sought to highlight here, we need to undertake our own 360 view of the people with whom we connect and the various workspaces that we inhabit. and this would encompass a range of issues such as those shown here. As we look out now 360, we're interrogating notions of climate, of pressure and anxiety, of dynamics in the group, of connections, relationships, and crucially, of power in our workplace. In light of all this, I have been developing a framework that will support the coming together of 360 feedback and a panoramic view of where we find ourselves when we are at work. If you're interested in hearing more about this and using it to shape a richer and more engaged approach to self-awareness and self-development, then please email me at radicalod@colefellows.co.uk with the phrase 360 expansion in the subject box. If you'd like to find out more about me as a leadership and organisation development advisor, please check out my website, which is www.markhall.org. Lastly, if you'd like to find out more about my thinking and how it underpins my practice, please visit my blog at www.radicalod.org. Thank you for taking time to listen to this presentation. I hope that you feel motivated to reach out and make contact. I very much look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.